I'm just warning you, this may be a bit surprising. It was probably one of the more valuable experiences I've had.
It was a lot of fun. Pretty cool, right?
Hello, my name is Dr. Peyton McDonald. I am the Director of Percussion Studies at William Paterson University. I recently had the privilege of traveling to Kentucky with 5 William Paterson music majors. We were there for a week, and during that time we gave 4 presentations a day to students kindergarten through 12th grade. This trip was sponsored and funded by New Performing Arts, a highly respected organization that brings professional and college-level artists to Kentucky. In the presentations, the William Paterson students performed standard percussion ensemble literature and explained to the Kentucky students the mechanics of percussion instruments and percussion music. The William Paterson students performed beautifully and really represented the university with the highest levels of professionalism.
My name is Kirkpatrick.
I'm Theo Metz.
I'm Shannon Zachariason.
My name is Jeff Brown.
My name is Shannon McClure.
I'm a sophomore.
I'm a junior.
I'm a sophomore.
Kind of a junior.
I'm a junior and I'm a music education major. I think the thing that has been most affected by going on this trip is just understanding what I'm playing so that I can explain it to other people, not just so I understand it myself, but if someone was to ask me a question about what I was playing, that I would be able to tell them the answer and how it relates, like how my part individually relates to all the other parts in the ensemble, and if people have questions about that and what's really going on in the music, especially in the cage.
It's been a little different. Been rehearsing a lot more than usual, so we'll rehearse like 3 times a week for one piece as opposed to 1 or twice a week. And practicing's been a little different too, because I haven't had time to work on my solo rep or anything.
We've had quite a few rehearsals, which cuts into the other practicing, other homework time. On top of that, with the djembe piece, I've had to work out all kinds of interesting practice strategies because I'm actually quite embarrassed to have other people hear me practice.
Working with the little kids and just seeing the reactions out of them, especially especially listening to so many different pieces because they're so young and they're so honest about it.
Hoping actually they take well to the teaching. They actually take something away from it.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and then we go back to the beginning and repeat it. So Jeff's going to play what that sounds like on our instruments that we use. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2.
Not just say, oh, that was nice, and then leave and not getting anything out of it.
Hopefully they do have something to say about what we're playing.
So what percentage of, how many of you guys think that he's going to be able to do this? Show of hands, show of hands.
I'm a little afraid that if we give the kids any chance to wiggle, not wiggle, but if they see us sweat, I'm afraid they're gonna take advantage of that.
How many people don't want to be here?
So, that would be the only thing I'm worried about. But no, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never been to Kentucky. I've never been to that part of the United States, so I'm really excited.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be very interesting, busy, a little strenuous. Didn't realize we were playing 4 schools a day for 5 days, but that's fine, get some good practice in with the pieces. So yeah, really good.
So now the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. William Paterson kids playing it, and you guys can just hop in whenever you're comfortable.
On the string drum, is the string hard to pull?
I thought it was overall just a great experience. Some of my favorite things were just seeing kids and how they react to some of the questions they asked.
Actually, it isn't, because I'm not pulling on the string, I'm just keeping it taut so that when I rub the paper towel over it, it can vibrate more easily. I would rub the towel along the end of it like this, I can't get much sound out of it.
I think really the most rewarding part about teaching and giving a presentation was to see, like, even if you just caught eyes in the audience with kids who are really into it, and really you could tell that they were understanding what we were talking about and that they were really interested in it. Like, that's pretty rewarding, I think, as a future teacher.
If I pull it taut, I can grip it better.
I don't consider myself a really good public speaker, and I was kind of concerned about that when we went down.
Well, I'm going to talk about some of the instruments that we use.
The first time it was kind of rough, but after a while you learn little tricks and like what people of that age, like what will draw their attention to you, like a lot of interaction. Like if you let them exert any amount of energy and just saying like yes or no, like that helps a lot. Or just kind of any interaction just to keep them focused on what you're doing, that helps a lot.
Yes. It was interesting to see because it's stuff that, you know, I'm studying and I'm actually putting into real life use as far as what the kids can comprehend at that age.
How to talk to kids, like what level they're at.
There was like terms we could use that up north I guess would be regularly accepted slang up here. Down there was not. No, William Paterson University is all general. We're just a part of it. They teach everything. There's nursing, pharmacy, there's all sorts of programs, degree offerings. As far as terms are involved that they'll understand.
Sometimes we play in what we call unison, which is where two people play the same part at the same time. So Kurt's going to lay down a second row of dots that Theo's going to play for us.
It was a really good experience because I feel as if I did serve a purpose. I did show the kids something. I did achieve what we went down there to do.
And we see that they're both going to play the same rhythm, and whenever one of them plays, they both play. So both of them are going to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1,
And
1, 2.
our presentation was flawless. Like, it. By the end of the trip, like we could have done it in our sleep.
Steve Rich does something called making interlocking rhythms,
Which we actually were doing.
the same rhythm, and starts it at 2 different times so that it kind of intertwines with itself.
Some rooms were definitely more difficult to play in than others.
So we see that Theo's going to play the same part, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 on the bottom, except it's going to start at a different time. Jeff's going to start on the first block, and Theo's going to start on the second block.
But it was actually really interesting to see how differently things sounded in the variety of gyms that we had. It worked out pretty well for my piece because, like, you know, I'm into having like the reverb effect with like the hand drum and singing. That was one of my favorite parts of it. I'm really glad that I took the opportunity to do a solo. Especially the one that I did that, like, I realized going into it that it took a lot of, like, chutzpah to be screaming and singing into a microphone, especially in front of a bunch of high school kids. I don't have all that much solo playing experience, so it was incredibly valuable. Just having to quickly, you know, go and, like, realized that I didn't, I had a bit of a skeptical audience, and to, dealing with that and trying to give it everything I had 4 times a day.
Well, besides just physically exhausting, I think just because you were on the go, not only just loading your stuff and playing, but you had to be prepared to speak and, do that end of it as well. But
It's kind of a pain going and waking up that early every day and unloading equipment, and most of the time it's for kids who not always want to hear you and hear what you have to say and what you're playing. But for the ones that did actually take to it and enjoyed what we were doing, it was really nice. He asked how much all the drums cost. Well, a lot of it is the schools, but for the most part, I'd say a lot. I feel that the younger the kids were, the more they enjoyed it. The less pretenses they had about music. That's the whole point, is that the cans are essentially free. If you go to certain restaurants, they don't want these. You could just take them and you have a drum. And same with some of the shakers, conch shell.
The only way I've seen those parts of the country is in movies, and you can't really grasp the greatness of what's actually out there until you're actually there.
Physically, the land was much different from what I'm used to seeing.
I was floored, seeing all of this just farmland and this totally different style of living. Up here, people earn their living by getting up, going to work, getting in their car, driving to whatever destination they have to go to, and just working in that area and going back home. There, they wake up, go outside, and work.
Yeah.
Let's hope we do it again.
It was a positive experience, being around those teachers, and the kids all were excited about it, and I think Kentucky has a bright future.